Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. So this time it's just a short little one because I wanted to show you a really awesome quest that I actually think is sort of indicative of how Blizzard are doing story stuff at the minute, and one of the main uses that they've actually found for the scenario system. As far as I know, there aren't actually any level 100 scenarios, and the scenarios so far that I've seen are basically all used to do some sort of cool storytelling moments. Now this is actually rather early on the Shadowmoon Valley storyline. Depending on what order you do quest, you'll get here in about 50 minutes, so it's not a major spoiler. Anyway, we're going to meet Velen and get a bit of a vision of the future. We've only just recently been introduced to Ner'zhul and all of his rather mean antics. This is actually a really pretty part of the zone as well. I mean, just look at that tree. Just look at it. Not the horse, not the low poly horse, the tree. Look at the tree. Very, very cool. So let's go and meet our good friend Velen. Now this is just such an awesome quest, and it does use that really cool tech. So we actually collected these various items so we could make this clarity elixir so that he could get a vision of the future. And he rewards us with some garrison resources. So I'll just read out the quest here. Threads of the future weave together, winding and unwinding, creating tapestries that will change in form and colour from one moment to the next. I must have clarity, I must focus on one strand that will become reality. When you are ready to share my vision, drink the elixir, relax, and let it take hold. This is going to be a wild trip, people. So let's have our trip. Click on this clarity elixir. Okay, so right now, I think this is probably, yeah, it's just going to go to the old 4x3 loading screen, which is cool. So, Velen doesn't really know what's going on, but he does know there's stuff going on with Ner'zhul. And this vision of the future doesn't paint that nice a picture, does it? So Velen originally a little bit surprised at this whole thing. We've got lots of heroes here. Here's Yril in her full combat armor, looking very cool. And we've got Velen, Murad's probably around here somewhere. And this is a thing called the Dark Star. Right now in the story, we don't actually really know what the Dark Star is. Or at least the player doesn't. So it's really cool how they're just throwing you in here and showing you something sort of completely new, giving you a little bit of a hint at a possible future. And I just think that this really selective use of the of the scenario tech is just great for storytelling. I don't think scenarios really worked out as a form of endgame content, as, oh dear, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't really think they worked out as Blizzard really would have liked in Pandaria, but the tech's still great, and it's just really cool to see it be used for some of these really awesome quests. Anyway, so we need to kill Krull. Krull is a very dangerous person. He is, oh dear. Yeah, so what we've learned is you don't want to stand in front of Krull, I think. Which is not good when he's the one who's attacking you. Crap. Divine Shield time. Jeez. Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing. Still, so Karabor is under attack by the Iron Horde. They've got this thing called the Dark Star, and the Dark Star is essentially a thing that Ner'zhul can use. It's like a sort of ancient weapon. I don't want to really, spoil too much. But basically, by using it, Ner'zhul kind of did major sacrilege, which was not very cool of him. But of course, its immense power has allowed the Iron Horde to be able to basically, assault Karabor. Which is not very good. So here's Commander Vorka using his Blizzstorm mount. And time for the ships to fire on the crystal. Yeah, so this is one of the big defensive crystals of the Draenor I have. And I actually really like these new spell effects they have going on here for like the catapults and stuff. I just think I don't know, it looks really cool actually. And when they land near you, you scream, like it shakes and does all that stuff, which is really pretty nice to see. So we need to fall back. Shit's going down at the minute. That ain't too good. The enemy are breaking through. And yeah, things are looking rather bleak for Karabor. This is of course only a vision. And I'll talk a little bit more about just how I think this is a really nice bit of storytelling after we are done with our vision. That vision may not turn out too well, so we need to talk to Velen and see what's going on. The vision guides us, let us see what it wishes to learn. Prophet, we're being overrun. Bloody right we are. This is the kind of thing that our Velen doesn't do, that this Velen does. And it's so fucking awesome, We've got a Velen who's actually proactively doing things, and that is just so nice. But unfortunately, yeah, it wasn't really enough, was it? No, not really wasn't. But yeah, just look at this scene, with the scenario tech, they can just really paint a really cool picture. They can have more NPCs on the screen at once. They can do all this stuff far better. And it just really allows them to have new avenues for storytelling. I mean, if you just think back in Warcraft, you know, all those little things that they had to use a quest for, you know, those key lore moments that ended up being a quest, where they just couldn't really pull off the full grandeur of the event. Now they can, because of the selective use of scenarios. And this is something that they didn't even do in Pandaria while you were leveling up. Okay, they did it for some sort of later game stuff in Pandaland, but it wasn't that great. So unfortunately there, we've sort of broken our crystal, and we of course have a very different Velen. He's distraught that his people are going to be killed. He's going to take action. He's going to proactively attack the orcs. You know, things like this are just really cool to see, and it's nice having just a sort of questing experience that's actually driven, and it really is driven by Velen and Yril and Murad. They've done a fantastic job in this zone. Now, I will probably at some point do more coverage of the story here, but I just wanted to throw this video in to get my thoughts out there and just explain to you guys how much I really just think that Blizzard are doing cool things, and then, of course, you know, all the scenario stuff. So, of course, later on we will be defending Karabor, and what's great about putting that scenario there is that it just sort of informs us as to what's going to happen in the future, and it provides a bit more drive to the quests. We now know that if we don't do anything, Karabor's fucked, right? So now there's a little bit more meaning to the quest that you're doing, and I know this does sound kind of RP-ish, and I don't RP at all. I just want to see a cool story. From a storytelling perspective, it really is pretty effective, and it's nice to see Blizzard pulling that off. Anyway, that's basically it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're looking forward to the full Warlords of Draenor questing as much as I am, and I'll see you next time.